Hello everybody and welcome to my stream. I'm DC. It's Friday. Thank you all for being here. Really enjoy seeing everybody. Hello JD lady, welcome on in. Anyway, you can find all my stuff over at dclasair.com. Yeah. Check it out. It's a great website, powered by Doris. New link in bio site. They just started a thing where you can make your business cards on their site as well. And I run my blog posts and everything off of Doris. So use my affiliate link to head on over there, see all the neat stuff you can do for free. And if you really like it, sign up for Doris Pro and use the discount code DC Lasair to get 30% off for 3 months. And I do get a little bit of that subscription back. All right. Hi, Brian. Totally not late. Exactly. We're just getting started. So, you know, it's all good. We might have a bit shorter today. I mean, it won't be the 12-topic marathon that last week's Tech Friday was with Brian. And you should totally go to my YouTube after this and check that out. Hey, Rex. Welcome on in. Good to see you. And Finite, hello, welcome in. Next time you're on, you're going 4 hours. Yay. Y'all, when I see Finite, you know, we gotta mention Finite Singularity, of course, doing the things, because it does awesome things. He's working on this very cool OBS transition that does this particle effect. It's the Thanos snap. It maybe should just be called the Thanos Snap plugin. I don't know. But, and yeah, you're just particle away. And, and I'm totally going to be using that when it's available. Or when the tutorial's up and how to do it. But, yeah, I mean, it's why Brian could do this. And things like that, you know. It's great. All right, so today is Tech Friday. Yay! And we're going to talk about some wireless options. So, no strings, as the title of the stream says. I'm clever, darn it. First up, I would like to talk about is this thing, let's see here, copy that. There we go. The TP Nano Wireless Transmission System. That thing, that way. And this is pretty cool. It's only $90, $89, excuse me. And you get these two, oops, give me that picture. These two boxes. Again, we've talked about TX and RX, so one's your transmitter, one's your receiver. You hook this up to any camera that transmits video, or your cell phone, or multiple other devices, and it will send the signal wirelessly to the transmitter. And look, you can even it's even MagSafe ready, so yeah. USB Type-C, HDMI to Type-C cable, you get accessories. They claim a range of 150 meters. The latency, I'm going to post someone's video on it. It is fairly low. It's kind of amazing. And so if you are outside and maybe you do a travel blog or something and you want to get video from your fancy camera to a monitor nearby, you can do that. And this is an excellent piece of tech. It just came out within the last week or so. So this particular one is fairly new on the market. And here's the YouTube video I saw on it. This guy does a pretty good job of demoing the whole thing, going through it. And this is, if you're looking for a way to do this, this is a great option. One, the price is amazing for what it does. And you know, you could even have a camera in the next room, transmit it to a monitor in another, whatever your needs may be. But yeah, the Shimbal TP Nano Wireless Video Transmission System is what you'll find it under. I went to their website, but that didn't have as many details as they put in their Amazon link description. So I'd just kind of rather you have more descriptions. Battery life, not bad, around 4 hours. Does up to 1080p 60. And yeah, I saw this. I'm like, this is really solid piece of product. Yeah, auto frequency hopping. You know, it makes a lot of claims here, but the video I linked to, he tests the distance on it, and it's really good. that 150 meter transmission range, yeah, that's not, that part is not just marketing. Like, maybe you get a little less, but it's going to be pretty close to this. And very low latency. Just a reminder, it is transmitting a video signal wirelessly, so there's going to be some latency, but it is so low, unless you need something accurate, it's really not going to bother anybody. So yeah, one moment please. Gotta take care of something real quick. Okay. All right. And keeping up with the wireless idea here, I did want to talk about over-the-air antennas, which are great. I have one. It's pretty cool. I like that technology. And I didn't realize this was an issue because I got mine a few years ago, and they didn't make the claims that some are now. But as this article says here, there is no such thing as a 150-mile TV antenna. So there are over-the-air antennas that claim to be 1,000 miles, and it just doesn't work. Why? Because the Earth is curved. So, right, line of sight, 35, 70. But as soon as you get into that 100 miles, oh, look, curvature of the Earth. Now, it's possible that if you were high enough and there was nothing between you and the transmission site for 100 miles, that you might be able to pick up a signal that far. Maybe. your best bet is at least within 70 miles. So any indoor antenna, if you're looking to do this, that says 1,000 miles or anything over 100 miles just isn't true. Because again, Earth is curved. Round? How dare you insinuate such blasphemy, right? And this is something I sort of have known, but it occurred to me like, right, yeah, because there's people who have grown up without knowing of antennas and being within the range of local stations and things like that. And so what just seemed like natural info to me may not be to everybody, because, you know, some of us here are of a certain age. But yeah, so if you're looking for an OTA, please don't get anything promising 1,000 miles. Also, I wouldn't trust anything that said 4K on it either. If it says something like it's there's a bit of a condition here. If it says something like it's compatible with, I think it's called Next Gen TV or something like that, and it says Next Gen TV 4K, then at some point you might get a 4K signal. There are some stations around, and very, very few, that do have a 4K signal going out, but it's very few, and what they can transmit has to sort of not have a lot of movement to it and things like that. But most over the air is going to be at 1080p right now. They're still kind of rolling out this idea of the next gen TV. That is a legit thing for a 4K protocol. No 4K action movies, not over the air, no. I mean, what's with that? So yeah, just be wary if you see just 4K on its own. No, if you see like next gen TV or something like that ready, or next gen 4K, then it probably will eventually do 4K. But that is in so few places. Like there's maybe 2 markets where it's a viable thing for over-the-air signals. And it's a very, very slow rollout. I mean, this has been talked about for a few years now. Tanya, hi, welcome on in. You like HK action movies, but haven't watched any 4K ones. What country is that? Oh, thank you for the resub. Yay. 35 months. Wow. Oh, yeah. And if you want another opinion on it, so yeah, I like my over-the-air antenna and the little box I have to interpret the signal and feed it to my TV. It's pretty nice. I just like having local stations for, free essentially. But yeah, check out that YouTube video for more information. This person does all sorts of over-the-air antenna things. We have one of those HD home run boxes, which do it all over our home network. It's great. Oh, that's cool. In fact, might look that up. Yeah, that's a nice looking thing. All right, y'all. So, yeah, you gotta check this out. Talking about this plug and play products. So basically transmitting from one TV to another with just this box, you know, watch live TV on your computers, portable media. Yeah. Unfortunately, your antenna is junk. Need a nicer one. Gets 2 of our local stations. Larry wants more football options, right? Oh, and here they point out ATSC 3.0. This is also the codec that will get you 4K. So if you see next gen TV or this, it might one day be 4K. It's wild how we're almost back to hundreds of channels and there's nothing on, but it's free now, right? So yeah, all you have to do is connect these boxes from one TV, your sort of main TV, to other things in your house, and you can get that signal. And it gives you free over-the-air TV. So yeah. Fernando, hi, welcome on in. Good to see you again. Reasonably priced for what they are. Yeah, I have one of the what do you call it? My over-the-air antenna is like 5 years old at this point, 6 years old, and it's one of those 360 antennas, and that does a pretty good job of getting the local stations. Like one, it has a bit of a problem picking up sometimes, but yeah, it does not bad. That website's color scheme was giving "Welcome to Xbox TV" vibes. It is. It is, but these are great. Yeah, I gotta look into these more. Fantastic idea. Thanks for that, Finite. Okay, let's see. Remember when the Xbox was going to be the center of your home media entertainment, right? That was Xbox 360, or when Windows came with the DVR. That too. Need a home entertainment system? Just get an Xbox. Why need other things? Yeah, and so I was thinking a lot about over-the-air antennas recently, and so seeing this article was cool. And then I was thinking about radio waves and how, because of the ionosphere, that's why you can hear AM stations so far away sometimes, because the signal bounces, and why they have to low power at certain points of the day so their signal just doesn't go way far outside their intended range. I'm talking about AM radio, I know. To schedule my... Oh, I'm sorry, Finite. That is... Yeah, that I have to check that out myself. Go like, hey. So the next time I have a checkup, I'm like, what? Stab me with everything you can. I don't care. Can just click yes if there's a box asking your condition if your state is offering it right now. This is true. So do that thing. CVS and Walgreens have different distribution rules, so check your local spots. Yeah. Do whatever you can to keep yourself healthy. All right. One of the conditions is if you've ever smoked in your whole entire life, so click that yes button. Yeah, do the thing. Health system, yes. Oh no, don't worry about rabbit holes here. That's fine. It is important to talk about these things. All right, back onto tech stuff. There was now last week when Brian was on, we talked about the newest update to the Rodecaster video. Those are the words. Rodecaster video. And then I saw, along those same lines, I saw a video about the GoStream Duet Kit, all-in-one live streaming switcher and multi-camera video mixer. Right there is pretty neat. It is $1,099. However, if you were to compare the Rodecaster video to this, which probably shouldn't, it's not. Depending on what you need, you might get better value of one over the other. However, this is a whole little portable system. It's a monitor. It's a case with a monitor, a switcher, you have 5-input live stream switcher. It's one of OC switchers right in there. Have router. You can attach microphones. Right. You have, I think it has 4 HDMI inputs in the back. So if you're looking for something that has SDI or anything else, this might not be for you. However, for a complete solution, not a bad piece of kit. So yeah, and the screen is 1080 by 1920. One case. And this remind me of, I mentioned this before, and here's a close-up of what you get with an OC control panel. You get it, the T-bar, transitions, keyers, program preview buttons. And yeah, this is another solution for on-the-go streaming, if you were like setting up an event at a convention or anything like that, this would be a good topic. And there's carry around without a burden. But this reminded me of something that if you don't know, I used to work at a video tech company, and they had a lot of old stuff for anyone to bring in anything. And one of the things they had, I guess this was a late 70s, early 80s product, but one of the things they had was this great big 20-pound unit that you could put a VHS tape in and play it on this little screen. And this was a salesman's travel carry. So you can imagine someone taking this 20-pound thing, having their VHS presentation on tape, lugging this around, going, here, watch this on this small screen. Here's our latest ad or whatever. But now, right, we get all of that we get so much more in a much smaller and lighter package. It's amazing. The life of a salesman back then was rough. This is true. Yeah, so I'm just always impressed by how far technology comes along within one's own lifetime. And that, we now have a whole production studio in a small box. It's kind of fantastic. All right, so if that's of interest to you or something you think you might need in your productions, please check that out. All right, moving on, we've got an e-reader to talk about. But the box doesn't have a hat, so 7.5 out of 10. Right. Amazing. So there are all sorts of reviews up on YouTube about this thing. This one is from The Verge. It's the remarkable Paper Pro Move 7.3-inch color e-ink screen. So if you've heard of Remarkable, they do a bunch of products. This is their first sort of fix and pocket. It is $449, which does include a stylus. If you get the $499 bundle, that includes Remarkable's upgraded Marker Plus stylus with a built-in eraser button. There you go. And I know someone with a Remarkable tablet, and they really love the writing experience on these. So now that there's a 7.3-inch color version. Amazing. Only 4.24 inches wide. And you can read all about the color screen technology and everything here. Again, lots of videos. That is tempting. Wow, yeah, it pretty much is. It's. I'm impressed. But there are. I saw at least. Well, I didn't watch them all, but there was at least 12 YouTube videos that came up in my feed all about this thing. So there's no lack of content about it. Again, I usually bring articles that are put in that are put out by tech journalists because they usually cover more than the websites themselves do, and it's a little easier to understand about the product. So yeah, it's definitely a notepad versus an e-reader. Yeah. It is designed to be more of a notepad than an e-reader. That's the case. But apparently it's a great digital writing experience for Remarkable's other larger tablets. I'm a little louder in this scene. Why would that be? Huh. Weird. I have no idea why that would be, because everything's set up the same between them. Huh. Neat. Oh, it might be because I turned my head slightly away from the mic, because I'm looking at my other monitor. Writes on the e-notepad, turns the e-notepad to face the viewer. The text on the e-notepad reads, "Made you look." Excellent. Need a PTZ mic? Clearly, I do, yes. So yeah, I'm turning, that has to be the only difference, is I turn my head slightly to read the screen. That's the only thing that's going to make the sound any different. That's the only thing I can think of. There could be some other magical thing going on, because who knows, but need to get you a Rode mic on a spatula or something. Yeah, I should get that Elgato arm that you can, easily move around. I do like this Avermedia arm, though, that I can position just anywhere. Use a rubber band to connect mine to a handful of dried spaghetti noodles. Excellent. All right. One more thing on the docket today, and then we'll just open up to whatever y'all want to talk about. That is something upcoming that I had not heard of before. They intend to be a YouTube competitor called Fair Play, and there's almost nothing about them except that they will be open source and things like that. So here's their website. It is a project in progress, as there's not much, but this is their promises: 100% free forever, 0 ads, engaged community, open source and free API. So yeah, you can contribute to the project. You can see the website currently under development. So be something, again, keeping an eye on and interesting. Steven, hello, welcome on in. Brian, if you do that, I will make a rage bait reaction video. Again, this is a clip-on. You clip it on. You don't hold it in front of you. It's made to clip on. Do the thing. Gonna put at the end of a string stuck to the ceiling. It's a lav mic because we love to hold it in our hands. Excellent pun. Clip it to something, then hold the thing it's clipped to. Good. Welcome on in, Lurking Rider. I have so many clickbait videos to make now. Individualized to each and every one of you. All right. All about the same thing. So it'd be the same video, just with different names. So I would just replace the name. Over it would be one of these like, Steven, Brian, Will the video be filmed in the French region? Your video will just be filled with sparkling anger. One exception I get is when the outfit doesn't really allow good clipping, but I've seen folks with nice necklaces and stuff in a pinch, right? Yeah. Plus, some of these mics, you can even reverse it. The idea, like if you don't have a good place, and you could put it under your shirt, put the mic under the shirt, and have the magnet there. Sparkling anger is fine too. We can't all be fancy. Exactly. Speaking of sparkling anger, I think I'm running low on sparkling water. Oh no, whatever shall I do? I'll drink Dr. Pepper. Who says we can't be fancy? Exactly. So yeah, today was a fairly low impact Tech Friday. Just fancy by default. Some of us don't have your gravitas. If you want a well-packed 2 hours of tech, watch last week's stream with Urban Bohemian. Where we talked about, there was a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, and we can talk tech for a while too. So anyway, opening it up for questions. We have a little bit before break, so any questions around tech, anything you like. Oh yeah, happy Silksong week to everyone who is playing Silksong and breaking all the stores you can get it from, all the online stores, that is. I was watching Jinx play it earlier today, and it looks like a lot of fun. Must admit, I like that your weapon is longer than what you have in the first game. Tech questions. How do you adjust actual play production during live streaming to accommodate for gravitas? Less bass, right? Yeah. You have mute buttons and volume sliders. This is why I encourage physical sliders and knobs. I always encourage knobs. Lots of compression on the audio. Tweak the EQ, right? Just mute Brian's mic. Yeah, but nothing kills gravitas like the chipmunk preset, right? Or, oh wait, I have...
Or, you're suddenly talking like what this calls a large robot.
Or you give yourself an echo. Because that's a thing you can do as well. Hear that several sections of the internet broke because of Silk Song? Luckily you were offline when that happened. Awesome. And then I have I'll have to go back and listen to this. I can't hear what these sound like. I've tested and recorded, but it's been a while. So this is voice disguise. So it must be one of those, like if I scrambled my face.
And now I'm talking to you with what the Rodecaster Duo calls voice disguise. Amazing.
Yeah, deliberately out of sync echo would kill even the sexiest voice, right? Oh, there's one called Monster.
Okay, now we have Monster. Yeah.
And this is small robot compared to large robot we had earlier.
I got distracted by buttons. Need to play with audio options a little more, right? Spent an alarming amount of time dialing in my mic. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, when I got this, I still do adjustments, but I've spent well over an hour just playing with different settings and finding something I liked. Recording and listening back. Yeah, so there wasn't too much this week that caught my attention. Probably have a little more next week as well. I should have my new planner in, so we'll talk about that. Because when it was Hobonichi Day, I made sure I was online to order my planner. And that should be here next week, early next week. Oh, there is another thing I wanted to talk about. That's right. The monster voice reminded me when DJ Knight would use it for a werewolf voice in APs, kind of the opposite of undercutting gravitas. This is... amazingly, I'm going to talk about Obsidian, probably after we come back from break. But, because I did want to show off a couple of the ways I'm using bases. Which is the Obsidian database. Do I already have... Oh, yes, I already have Obsidian running, and it's next to me in this window. I need to move it. I'm like, why isn't it turning on? Because it's already on, and in a different window. Who could have foreseen this happening, right? And I'm just setting up the things. What's the other database? I have it in my main vault. Was it a rotary? And my game. All right, so go over some uses for that when we come back from break. Again, we're into whatever y'all want to talk about. It's Friday. We all need to relax because everything going on in world. Take some deep breaths. Get into the weekend. Do a little stretch. I'm just doing a quick scan to make sure. Sufficiently old enough to have used rotary phones for their intended purpose, not as a toy like my nibblings got to do, right? Same, lurking rider. The first phone that was in the house was well, you know, by the time I was born and everything, but it was a yellow phone, a terrible colored yellow phone with a cord. Yes, phones had cords that you hung on the wall and, you know, had the dial right on the phone. And then, of course, when we moved, got into this house, we had another rotary phone in another room, so, you know, could just pick it up in that room as well. All right, it's good enough time for a break. So let's take that now, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. So do the things that's always recommended: stretching, taking your meds, you know, doing a 5-minute dance party, whatever you'd like to do. And I will see you back here in about 5 minutes. I'm going to run some ads too, so stay tuned. All right, be right back. And I'm listening. I don't know why I'm leaning in like I can. This helps me hear you better. And so I make a declarative statement such as urban bohemian is great. Council has spoken. There will be no arguing. Thank you. And there you have it. Oh! Well, there I go, blowing myself up again. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay. End of your mumble. We begin. Ancient pastry chefs of evil, transform this unleavened form into Pillsbury, the ever baking. And with that,
plus from us to give yourself inspiration.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Behold, blood orange.
Does anyone else hear Latin chanting, or is that just me?
No, I think
they were,
everybody
yeah,
does.
but yeah.
Give it the name X-Toll to be sent to Sleep Rising. Simply go to X-Toll and speak this one's name, which is X-Toll. Cool. Well, no. Can I have my shield back, please? Thank you. Zale? Yes. Hey, Herb. Are you seeing a bunch of furry little butts? Yep. Your little bouncy noises.
What if you were someone who gave names to such things? Would you call this cake?
The cake boss.
I hate it here. I'm leaving.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. That's it. I'm out.
Who's gonna?
Just no.
This is where all the great stuff gets baked that you love.
I do enjoy getting baked.
Don't pastries and everything you could love. All in your tummy. Yeah. All right. Now the
I'm gonna just let DC have this. I'm gonna let him have it.
Yep.
Yep. Everyone's got to say hi to Hannah. There's my kitty. Don't know how long I get to hold her, but Alright. So this is the cat portion of the stream. Oh, time to get down. There you go. Thanks for being on screen. Alright, I didn't want to interrupt the cat video, because, you know, it's my cat. Oh, alright, quick Hannah story. Hannah's my cat if you're new here. Like, about 3:30 a.m., she decides to open the door to the room. My room door doesn't shut tight, so I don't know how she does it, because I'm always on the other side of the door, right? So somehow she either takes her paws and just puts her weight into it and opens the door. The room. She comes in, meows at me, I kind of pet her. Maybe I'll get up and walk over into where her food bowl is and pet her some more, and then she eats her food, and then I go back to bed, and she's happy. But this time, every 2 hours, she was in my room. I like, okay, we're done. Okay, I need to go back to sleep because it's, 3:30 in the morning. Shut my door, 5 a.m., something like that. She's back in. I'm like, what do you want? I want to sleep, kitty. She opened the door to the room, as cats do. If I don't shut my bedroom office door completely, my youngest cat will headbutt the door open and invite himself in. Amazing. Yeah, sister eldest cat also does this, except she's worked out how to use the handle. Wow. Yeah, it does sound like pawing at the door, so I'm guessing it's like taking the front weight and just putting the paws into it and going at the door like that, or something similar to that. But I got very little sleep last night because just kept coming on in. I'd be like, okay, you good? All right. And just like, okay, get out of here. I'm sleeping. It'd be one thing if Hannah would just settle and like sleep near me, but she doesn't. She just keeps wandering around constantly. Especially in the early AM hours. When does she take a nap? In the afternoon, like most cats probably do. But if she ever just laid down, it would be fine. But she's a constant ball of activity. And then I probably would leave my door open, but it just keeps going. I'm like, stop. All right, I had to check a thing. Okay. So I wanted to go over what I'm doing with bases and Obsidian really quick before we get into more weekend cooldown thing. And I think this first one I showed off before, but here is this is for my home game. I have adventures, file name, the session date, the location. This is the first adventure I made in Obsidian, so it doesn't have everything. But you can just go over here. Oops. Let's undo that. You can go over to where it says filter, and you can do all views or this view. So you notice this view, all the following are true, where folder is adventures. So it's taking all the files, or all the notes out of the adventures folder and displaying them here. And so you can do it for this view or all views, because making another view is simply clicking the button and going to add view. New over here makes a new note that will have all the properties of this view. If I click it and go test, and notice I have my properties list here. And so if I put session date as, what's today, the 5th? And I type in some words. And now I have that note I just made with the properties, with the session date property that I had listed in these notes. So that is a very handy way to create new things without going through the whole new note process. All that. Let's see here. Delete that file, please. All right. And then this is something I'm working on for my own notes. As you can see, I got a clock and calendar up. So I've created this home note. And what I'm doing is I'll slowly be putting in a bunch of bases here. So I'll add other things here, maybe some task lists or something like that. But here's a database of all my blog articles or all my planned blog articles that I haven't written yet. And I can show myself the URLs, titles, and so as I need them, I'll just have a home page that comes up and I can see these various databases on one page. That'll be fantastic. All right, is there anything else? No, I showed off the other database working on it. Oh, I don't know if I showed the... Yes, I did. Okay. I showed the Tech Friday database off before, so don't need to go over that again. All right. So I'm going to turn on the music low and free to bring up whatever. As I look for stuff. Looking for more tech stuff. Engadget has a couple articles. Here they have a Lenovo Legion Go 2 hands-on, powerful upgrades but with an even higher price. So if you're interested in that. That came out today because whatever the IFA 2025 is. We'll probably talk about this stuff next week because there's a... IFA is Europe's answer to CES. Okay, thank you, Engadget article. Anyway, if you want a summary, there it is. Next week, Tech Friday, we'll talk about the things that happened here over the weekend and if there's anything really interesting that comes out. Yes, but give it some time for the event to happen and all the things to be shown off. Oh, Lego, a new official Lego set. Again, I'm on Engadget. This is the Ultimate Death Star set. Includes over 9,000 pieces and costs $1,000. According to this article, it's the most expensive Lego set ever. Star Wars or not. Bank balance doesn't want me to view anything like that, right? I mean, look at this. Ooh, we even got the Imperial troopers. Nice. Laser. Oh wow, even has a docking bay. A lot of times we'll see really expensive Lego projects made by someone, but they kit bashed a bunch of kits together and spent, you know, thousands of dollars to do it. But this is an official Lego kit that's $1,000. Over here trying to save up enough money to replace the potato PC. Meanwhile, Star Wars Lego exists, right? But yeah, that's amazing. So if you want to see a video on it, there's one linked in this article. Yes, replacing the potato PC is important. Oh, there's the Flame Fatalis 2025 speedrunning event coming up. Starts September 7th, 10:30. Again, I'm on Engadget, so. But there's all the details for that. It's on the GDQ Twitch channel. So in a couple days, it will start up. And these are always fantastic. So there's even a blueprint speed run that will include a bingo board. All right, got to check that out. That'll be great. I like those speedrunning events. Those are cool. All right. And we'll break into TTRPG stuff. Oh, I'm speaking of TTRPG stuff, I mentioned before that one of my recent rabbit holes is creating hex maps. And you can, and I had mentioned Worldographer as one of my choices because it had a commercial license with it. A lot of the hex maps things I was looking at didn't have commercial license, or were very specific about, nope, you can't use this commercially, or there's these neat tile sets I've made for my hex thing, but all these tile sets you can't use commercially. So we talked about HexFriend and Worldographer. And Worldographer does have a free version if you just want to try it out. That's by Inkwell Ideas. Because I had posted on Blue Sky, and the Inkwell people reached out to me and said, hey, we do have a free version, so if you want to download that. They said it does 90% of what the paid version does. Go check it out, and I have played with it. It is an impressive bit of software. There are so many options. I'm looking at it and can do a lot of cool things with it. So check it out if you're looking to making some hex maps like I am for future TTRPG things that I have rolling around in my head. I would give Worldographer a go. Also, HexFriend is at hexfriend.net. Very easy to use website. And you can save it out as a PNG or I think a JSON file. Let's see, what can we do here? I can't find the command right now, but yeah, there's a lot you can do with HexFriend. It's very cool to get just getting hex maps in, and again, you can use it for commercial projects, which is something I have to think about on occasion. I say this because there are other cool hex making tools out there. There's, I found at least 3 or 4 that were interesting, but they don't have a commercial license, so I can't use them, essentially. But so if you have a hex map making software you like, or you found another one, by all means use that. If you potentially need one for commercial purposes, right now I think HexFriend and Worldographer are probably your best bets. Let's see here. Okay, not seeing much there. Bookmarks folder has expanded once again. Yay! Yeah, I gotta play with Worldographer more. But what I used of it was pretty cool. Okay, that's an ad. Okay, so Steve Jackson Games has announced a Critical Role Munchkin game. It will hit retail in March 2026. So if you ever played Munchkin and you like Munchkin and you like Critical Role, well, now the two things are chocolate and peanut butter. Yeah, all right. What else we got? Nope. Something of interest there too. Okay. So first up over on Bell of Lost Souls, they have this article. Their next big campaign book for Shadowrun 6E will take you into Cairo. So if Shadowrun's your jam, there's a new book to look forward to. All right, so this is a list of 5e compatible RPGs, things like that. Someone has made a K-pop Demon Hunter supplement they call K-pop TTRPG Hunters, which is a homebrew thing. There's the whole list there, but I know K-pop Demon Hunters is of interest currently to lots of us. One of the songs from its soundtrack is currently #1 in the UK charts. Think it might be a bit popular, right? just a bit. All right, and if you didn't get the PDF via the Kickstarter, Green Ronin's 5th season role-playing in the Stillness is up for pre-order. Check it out. Definitely check it out. It's worthwhile. Oh, interesting. Okay. This is a game called Victoriana, which is a 5e adventure. Invites you to step into gaslit London. It's out now. Let's see. Who is this by? Cubicle 7. All right. If that's your jam. So it is a steampunk magical elements all mashed together around the 5ED20 system. And you can also pre-order a physical copy from C7. Delivery expected early 2026. So PDF now through drive-through, or get a physical copy. This looks pretty neat. All right. So now we can really talk about whatever. If you have any questions about anything we talked about, you want to mention your favorite TTRPG, we got time. Oh, I had reason recently. Now you're just getting random stories from me. I had reason recently to try out Discord stages. Or stage. I can't remember if there's an S at the end or not. Yeah. But DC Lasair time exactly. So Discord stages is a free thing. Basically, you set up your server. Your server has to be a community server for this to work. And you set up a stages channel, like any other channel. So you hit the little plus button and go, okay, stages. And what this allows you to do is have a group of guests up top. Then there's a line, and then down below, anyone joining the channel that's not officially a guest is audience. And if you're doing audio only, you can have up to 10,000 listeners on it, which is just massive. And it's an interesting thing. It's really easy to use. Probably one of the better Discord things to come out in a while, out of all the weirdness that they do sometimes. And it's very easy you can set people as moderators for the for the stage, and they can have people, they have the power to invite people up to be a guest to ask a question or whatever, and then put them back into the audience. Or there's a chat on the side that, you know, can be monitored for questions and other comments like that. If you want to do video or screen sharing, that is up to 5 guests can all have their cameras on at once. Your audience is limited based on how many server boosts your server has received. I think the starting number, though, is 300, an audience of 300, and then like 300 for one, 500 for another, and it goes up. And after like 3 server boosts, which you're probably at like 1,000 people at that point, you get 30 more per server boost, all the way up to, I think that gets up to like 10,000 people in the audience as well. But yeah, I got to try it out. It's really, really cool. It'd be a really great way for a kind of like a podcast thing or a video thing. I mean, you could even use it to record into OBS. You know, you just set it up like any other recording with Zoom, for example. Not that I enjoy using Discord for actual plays and things like that. I do not. But if you wanted to kind of podcast and you could stream it, just capture the whole window, you know, have people come up and be live and interactive, and it works really well. Just don't ask me to use it if you're doing a actual play, because the answer is no. Unless I'm just recording the audio, answer's no. I just don't have a good time working with it in that capacity. So if I can avoid it, for an actual play, I'm going to avoid it for an actual play. Now, some people may love it. That's fine. But yeah, I was thinking of stages. You know, you could do more community-focused event, because people in your Discord are generally a little more interactive with your content and things like that. And so yeah, I was trying it out for someone, and we were doing some tests, and for the planned purpose, it's probably a good solution. Yeah, let's see here. If I may ask, what is your preferred system for that sort of thing instead then, and main reason why? Right now, Zoom. One of the big reasons is because Zoom isn't peer-to-peer. It goes to a server and comes down. The video is always solid. Right? Like, you know, as long as no one's interconnection goes weird and that type of thing. But never had a problem for a video because of some unknown reason. It's always someone's internet went down or something, you know, just some weirdness there. But for the most part, Zoom video has been the most solid I've used. And also, and this is relatively recently, if you want to add in captions to your video, they have a automatic caption window that you can pop out, you know, put in another monitor, and you can just capture that window and add that into your overlay. And it has, you know, and it separates people out as individual speakers too, which is really handy for captions. And so it's a neat all-in-one thing, right? It does the video and the captions, and it handles them rather well. Google Meets, Google Meets, because it's browser-based and other things, has been a bit of a problem before. The captions are all right, and a lot of people have used that, but I would start recommending Zoom for captions and everything, because you're just using one thing. You don't have to worry about people also connecting to Google Meets and getting all that audio right so that their audio isn't broadcasting over everyone. Most people now have an idea of how to set themselves up properly for Zoom. And so it would just, you know, ease of use is a big thing. And Zoom, while not perfect, and I would like another solution, has been, for me, the most reliable. Now, the one thing I am kind of hopeful for, and I tried this out with Brian, is the Video Ninja video capture. It's only a few weeks old, so it's fairly new, and tried it and ran into a couple bugs, so hopefully those get worked out, because that might be a way to go. Again, captions being I'd have to figure out how to do captions with that. I think Video Ninja has a captioner as well, so I could just, you know, copy that in. But so that's one of those keeping my eye on things that has shown some promise in it, and I like how it's doing what it's doing. But there's a couple bugs that are in there that would prevent me from using it, currently using it full time. So yeah, just Zoom's reliable. Oh, you're welcome. No problem. Always happy to answer that stuff. And as far as, now that I'm thinking about it, as far as stuff a producer has, if you can afford a Stream Deck, I would highly recommend getting a Stream Deck because you also get the added benefit of the Wavelink software with the, I think it, yeah, Wavelink comes with, I know it, well, it comes with the Stream Deck Plus because there's dials. But, what? Stream Deck. Okay, so any Stream Deck you get, you can do, you can use Wavelink. So yeah, if you get a Stream Deck, and Wavelink is really good audio software, especially for audio routing. It makes it easy. Now I have a different setup, and if I didn't have this setup, I would be using Wavelink for all the things. So definitely check that out if you can. It's great audio mixing software, but you do need a one of the physical Stream Decks for it. So if that is something you can do, by all means do it. Or if not, just use OBS to put in all your audio channels, because there is a, you can put in, and whatever application open, they still call it a beta, I think. Yeah, application audio capture beta. It's right at the top if you hit the plus button under sources, and use that to kind of make a audio mix and then dial in the virtual sliders and things if you don't get a Stream Deck. And Wavelink, you're mainly get the Stream Deck Plus or something for access to Wavelink is the advice there. If you don't want to get a Stream Deck, there are other things that are like the Stream Deck that you can get and use. And just having, even if it's not an Elgato product, just having one to switch scenes and mute audio sources and things like that is, I think invaluable. Plus, you don't have the worry of clicking the mouse somewhere on screen and accidentally switching scenes or going too far. You can just set up the buttons on there to control the volume in OBS. You could also pop out because the audio mixer is a dock, you can pop it out and put it on different screens, so you don't even have to worry about clicking on something weird in your OBS setup if you don't want to. But if you can get a physical sound mixer, recommend doing that. It's very handy. It's great to kind of take that audio processing pressure off the PC and put it to a dedicated piece of hardware and then shoving that in, and that's been rather nice. Plus, audio mixers have that are designed for, streaming and things like that, have all sorts of features you can play with and make different mixes, things like that. But those can get quite expensive, so I suppose the tier would be using OBS to control your audio, then get a Stream Deck to use Wavelink, and then a physical mixer. All right, just look around for other things here. We still got some time left, so if you do have any other questions, we got right around 10 minutes or so. So plenty of time to answer more questions. Oh, you just saw the beast guy. Oh, no worries. Yay, finishing work for the day. My next planned con is I'm probably gonna stick to the local comic convention near me. I really can't spare the expense for another con. Though I am I say that, but Gamehole Con is a remote possibility. I usually like my time at Gamehole Con. I haven't been there in a couple of years. I do have a friend going, so might be able to travel, but it's not in the necessary plan. So just a local comic convention that happens October, November-ish. I'll probably wander around there for a day. Went 2 or 3 years ago. It was nice. Felt medium-sized. Yeah. Yeah, I have quite a few friends that run games there, so I don't really get to see them much. But they're there, and it's a nice space. Here. Be awkward, yeah. I get that. Oh, where is... Unlike PAX or San Diego Comic-Con, where folks can go days without seeing even the people they came with, right? No, if you are into planners, this is the one I got. I'm trying a Hobonichi Weeks, which I haven't had before, but so I'll try it out, see if I like it. Yeah, let's see here. Any other... If there's any other conventions coming up. Might be relatively nearby. Yeah, so the local Comic-Con I'll be at for maybe a day or two. And then if there's another convention nearby, might also take a travel day and go to that. When is DC Con? Well, I do want to do a round of panels and make it a virtual convention. I'll going to charity, so you know, I don't know if I'd call it DC Con, but that'll be in the near. I hope to get that all set before the end of the year. We do technically have cons in Blightly, but they're not really on the same scale as things like PAX or the various Comic-Cons. Yeah. What would be the theme of the panels? I would run my producer panel that I usually do at convention. So you get the benefit of not having to go to a convention to see that panel. I'd even bring up my little PowerPoint that I made and everything. And then some... couple other people I know that have panels that they would like to do, and just, you know, they were either rejected or they would like to do them again, or for people, and so it'd be various themes all around, as long as it centered around tabletop in some way or video gaming. What is Obsidian? Why is it awesome? Look, that's an entire day. But yeah, so some panels you would find at, say, PAX U or Gen Con, similar vibe. Similar vibe to some of those. And, you know, maybe I can get some people together that couldn't normally travel to meet each other, and would be good to have them on a panel to talk to everyone about a thing. I'd like to also talk about community management as well, moderation. Especially within our spaces. That's sounding like kind I'd actually like to and might even be able to attend. Yeah! And be all for charity. I'm thinking I'd support Take This, which is usually what I do for charities. You know, plus, cool people are part of Take This, like Eugenio Vargas and Tanya DePass, and because I'm big on mental health, and so anything that does mental health and gaming together is great. So yeah, if I can get enough together to And I'm not sure if I want to do it over. I'm going to try to make it over a one weekend, like do maybe 3 on a Friday, 3 on a Saturday, that type of thing. Depending how it works out, I may, if it works out to be more convenient that people could get together to talk about things on a different weekend, I'll do that, because why not, you know? But we'll try to concentrate them all, and then I'll have all the videos up on my YouTube afterwards. Or actually, since I'm multi-streaming, they'll be on YouTube right after I'm done. Though I might make slightly edited versions of each of them as well. Put them in a playlist. All right. Let's see who else we have. And yeah, I have no idea what I'll call this event. So I had a couple names rolling around, so I got to put them into the Google search and know if there's a December, several weekends in December to allow for scheduling issues. Yeah. Slightly edited versions equal cat face filter on all the panelists in the YouTube version. Exactly. You know me very well. All right, let's see who we can send a raid over to. Refresh. Okay. Panda's on with some mini painting. Let's see if... Been going a while. Still looks like it's going to be on for a bit. Hope you like the weeks. We'll post when you get yours. Yay! Yes, I love hearing about people's planners and things like that, too. So yeah, have a great night. I'm wrapping up. So thank you for being here, Fernando. Always great to see you. So yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. Hope it's good. And we'll come back on Monday with more Expedition 33. Might even finish the game finally. Don't know. It depends if this is the final battle or not. But we're getting close to it. Sure seems that way, unless they do something else confusing with the plot that I'm like, explain something to me, please, game. And then, you know, we'll have to deal with that when we get there. All right, so thank you all for being here. Really appreciate you all coming in. We're going to go raid Panda, so stay tuned for that. Please be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and I'll see you all on Monday for Expedition 33. Stay tuned for the raid. Bye.